like I said, is really just an introduction to congruent figures. So we're going to talk about triangles for the most part. Every now and then you'll see something that's not a triangle, but really the gist of chapter 4 is how do I make these two triangles congruent, or how do I prove that these two triangles are congruent, okay? So the first thing we're going to do here is talk about just polygons in general, but I'm going to show you on a triangle because that's mostly what you're going to focus on. So the first thing says congruent polygons have congruent corresponding parts. Okay, what are corresponding parts? The same, parts that match up, okay? So if I'm looking at this figure, I would say my corresponding parts would be like angle A corresponds to what on the blue triangle? D, right? Those are corresponding parts. They are the same angle in a different triangle, okay? Or we could say angle C is congruent to angle F. So basically, if two figures are congruent, their parts have to be congruent, right? The angles will all be congruent, and what else will all be congruent? The sides, right? So I would say like BC is congruent to FE. Remember, that's what those little hash marks mean, congruence. The arcs mean congruence. So basically, if I want to prove that two triangles are congruent, I need to prove that all three angles are congruent to each other, and all three sides are congruent to each other. How many things is that? 6 things. Okay, all three angles congruent, all three sets of sides congruent. Do you want to have to do a proof that has to prove 6 things right every time? No. So today I'm going to show you how we prove with all 6 of those things, but moving forward, we're going to take 3 of them away. So for 2, for 3, for 4, you will only need to prove 3 things, and it'll be a different 3 things every time depending on what postulate we're using. But for today, I just want you to understand the shortcuts are still proving all 6 things, okay? So I want you to see all 6 things for today, and then we'll move into the shortcuts from there. So first example, it says if triangle ABC is congruent to triangle YXZ, name the congruent corresponding parts. Now, God bless you. They're going to give you pictures a lot of the time. I'm going to just tell you to be a little bit leery of only using the picture, because sometimes the picture has been flipped or turned or something, and they're still congruent figures, but it's going to be a little more confusing which parts match up. So for instance, if you look at this picture, they told us that ABC is congruent to YXZ. That means A is congruent to Y, okay? It also means B is congruent to X, and it means C is congruent to Z. Okay, now if you just looked at that picture, you might be tempted to say from the picture that A is congruent to Z, right? Because we can't tell, did it flip, did it not flip? This is what tells you if your triangle's flipped over or not. So if I were you, I would completely ignore the picture. I would look up here and I would say, okay, if I know corresponding angles have to be congruent, then I know that angle A is congruent to angle what? Y. The orange goes with the orange, right? I know that angle B has to be congruent to angle what? X. Angle X. And I know that angle C is going to be congruent to angle Z, right? Third letter with third letter. So match up the corresponding letters. The first letter with the first, the second with the second, the third with the third. Okay? That's the first thing. So that gave us 3 of the 6 things that we need to know are congruent in this figure. What are the other 3 things that we have to know are congruent? The sides, okay? So now to do the sides, you're just going to match up the corresponding letters as a segment. So if I said segment AB, what segment does that correspond to in the second one? XY, or I'm going to do it as YX just so you're seeing the order. So AB and YX. If you said XY, it's totally correct still. So I would say segment AB is congruent to segment YX. First two letters with first two letters. Okay, so what if I said BC? BC is congruent to what? XZ. So the second two letters, BC, with the second and third letters, XZ. So what's my last segment? AC, first and third with first and third, right? So AC is congruent to YZ. Okay, so if that's the case, then they ask us this question, and here's where I'm gonna ditch my mark or my big X through my triangles here. This one says, if the measure of angle A is 72, and the measure of angle Z is 78, find the measure of angle C and find the measure of angle B, okay? They told us at the beginning of the problem, ABC is congruent to YXZ. We said, okay, well that means A corresponds to what angle? Y. So if the triangles are congruent, then their angles are congruent. That means angle Y is how many degrees? 72. Okay, so what is angle C? 78, same as this one, right? We're just matching up the corresponding parts. So angle C will be 78 degrees. And then they ask us to find angle B. How do you find angle B? Right, so I know that 72 plus 78 plus the measure of angle B has to equal 180. So I'm going to take this away. What is that, 150? So take away the 150, and that means the measure of angle B is going to be 30 degrees. Okay, so what's X? 30, right? The same as B. Those are congruent triangles, so they have to have congruent angles throughout the triangle. Okay? Questions on that? Okay. There is this theorem. It's called the third angles theorem. And basically what it says is this. If I know that two angles in one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then I know that the third angles are congruent as well. Okay? Here's what I mean. If I draw you this picture, we'll label these A, B, C, and D, E, F. Okay. If I know that angle A is congruent to angle D, and angle B is congruent to angle E. Okay. The third angles theorem says I have to know right now that C is congruent to F. Does anyone see why that would be? Yeah, Elisha. It has to add up to 180, and that means these two are going to add up to the same as this, right? So I'd have to add the same thing to both of them to get to 180. So basically what the third angles theorem says is that if I have these two pictures, then angle C is going to be congruent to angle F. Okay, there is no other option. They will be congruent if the triangles are congruent. Okay? Not if the triangles are congruent, if the other two angles are congruent. Okay, so that's called the third angles theorem. If you know two, then you know the third will be congruent also. Okay, last thing we're going to do for today is a quick proof to try to prove that these two triangles are congruent. So at the beginning, I said for now, we need to know how many things to know that two triangles are congruent. 6 things, okay? So that's what we're looking for here. If we're going to prove these two triangles are congruent, we need to prove all 3 sets of sides are congruent and all 3 sets of angles are congruent to say, okay, that's everything. We know now the triangles are congruent, okay? Tell me what of these blanks you can fill in right now for me. Keith. The given, okay? I'm not going to rewrite that. I don't need you to rewrite that. Just put a big circle around it and draw an arrow to number 1. The reason being it is given. What other blank do we know right now? The prove, right? The last number 4 on the left side has to be what they asked us to prove. So we know we're trying to get to the point of LMN is congruent to LON. Okay, so now let's think about this. They told us in the given that LM is congruent to LO. And if there's one thing I would highly, highly recommend for you to do on these, it is mark what you know. Okay, this one they marked it for you, but I'm just going to mark it as we say it just so you see what's going on here. So LM is congruent to LO. Okay, they also tell us MN is congruent to ON. Okay, then they tell us M is congruent to O. And they tell us that MLN is congruent to OLN. Okay, so all of that information has been given to us. Now think about what we're trying to come up with. 6 things, 3 sets of sides and 3 sets of angles that have to be congruent. Does anyone see how we could prove our next set of sides or our next set of angles congruent? So take a look at this triangle. What's the third side of the one triangle matching up with the third side of the other triangle? What side have we not proved congruent? Side or angle? Side. Which side? N is not a side. LN, right? Segment LN. So this is one segment that's the bottom segment of this triangle. It's the top segment of that triangle. They're the same segment, right? So we're saying right now that LN is congruent to LN. So LN on the top triangle is congruent to LN on the bottom triangle. What property is that? Reflexive. Do you know how many times you're going to write the word reflexive in this chapter? More than you can count. Look for the reflexive property, okay? Which is lovely because the reflexive property is an easy property. So look for something that's the same in both sets of triangles all the time, okay? That is the reflexive property. Okay, so now we know 3 sets of sides are congruent. We're just missing one angle for each triangle. Do you see it? Don't tell me angle N, because you can't call it angle N. Why can't we call it angle N? Because there's 2 angles there, okay? So if we're looking at naming the 2 triangles, or the 2 angles, it would be this angle. How would you name that angle? LNM works, or you could do MNL. So angle LNM would have to be congruent to, what's the other one going to be called? Not LON, that would be this one. LNO. Remember, the vertex is your middle letter. Okay, can anyone tell me how we know those 2 angles are congruent? It's the third angles theorem. We knew the 2, right? So that means we know the third as well by the third angles theorem. Okay, third angles theorem. Okay, so now we're going to say we know the 2 triangles are congruent. Why do we know the 2 triangles are congruent? We said we needed what? 6 things to be able to prove it, right? All the corresponding sides and all the corresponding angles are congruent. So that is by the definition of congruent triangles, right? Congruent triangles have 3 corresponding sides that are congruent and 3 corresponding angles that are congruent. So by the definition of that, we know the triangles are congruent. Okay. So when you get to a proof today, if it's triangle something congruent to triangle something, your last step after you've proved all 6 things is just the definition of congruent triangles. Today is the only day that you will use that, because moving forward from this, I'm going to give you the shortcuts, and then you'll get to use, they're called SSS, SAS, ASA, AAS, and HL. There will be 5 things that I will teach you to prove triangles congruent, and they're way shorter than having to prove 6 things. Okay? Questions on that? Okay.